The Galaxy Watch 6 lineup was just announced at Samsung's Galaxy Unpacked event, and it only has two watches, the Watch 6 and the Watch 6 Classic. These new smartwatches feature brighter screens, a faster processor, a sleeker design, a newer version of Wear OS, and more memory. But how significant are these improvements over the Galaxy Watch 5 from last year? Is the Galaxy Watch 6 Classic a replacement for the Watch 5 Pro? Today, we will break down all the important differences and similarities, so you can decide which watch is right for you. First of all, Samsung's newest smartwatch has a sleeker design, featuring a 20% bigger Super AMOLED screen and a 30% slimmer bezel. There's only ever been one Watch 5 Pro model. At 45mm, it was larger than either Watch 5 variant and was a fair bit chunkier to accommodate a bigger battery, but the family resemblance was there. The Watch 6 Classic adds some choice with two size options, 43mm and 47mm. It's not a million miles away from the Watch 5 Pro styling-wise, if not quite so chunky. The raised bezel gains some mint markers around the inner ring, and the outer one rotates, making it a breeze to scroll through on-screen menus. It gives a satisfying click with each notch too. More importantly, the Galaxy Watch 6 has a 2000 nits peak brightness with automatic brightness for always-on display mode. This brighter screen is helpful in outdoor conditions. You can see things on the screen clearly even under bright sunlight. A sapphire crystal panel protects the screens on both smartwatches. Both smartwatches have an IP68 rating for dust and water resistance. They also have a military standard compliant design for drop and shock resistance. The Galaxy Watch 5 Pro landed with one of Samsung's own Exynos W920 processors, which by that point was already a generation old. Paired with 1.5 gigs of RAM, it was perfectly able to run Wear OS 3.5, even with Samsung's One UI 4.5 watch interface sat on top, but it wasn't quite as energy efficient as rival chipsets, doing the rounds in other wearables at the time. There's a newer Exynos W930 CPU at the heart of the Galaxy Watch 6 Classic, which runs at a higher clock speed and should be a little less power hungry. RAM has been boosted to 2 gigs, and the watch arrives running the newer Wear OS 4. Wearable apps aren't exactly demanding, but they should still feel a bit more responsive here than they will on the Watch 5 Pro. Both watches have 16 gigs of onboard storage, which is plenty for a handful of music playlists or apps downloaded from the Google Play Store. On paper, it's the Watch 5 Pro that has the battery life advantage. It has a sizable 590 mAh battery, which bests the 47mm Watch 6 Classic's 425 by a fair whack, and is almost double the 43mm version's 300 mAh unit. While the CPU might not be quite as efficient, it still managed multiple days between top-ups when we reviewed it last year. Samsung expects the Watch 6 Classic to be good for 30 hours with the always-on display enabled or 40 hours without. Officially, the Bluetooth-only Galaxy Watch 5 Pro will put a bigger dent in your wallet than the 47mm Watch 6 Classic, but we've seen deals doing the rounds that suggest otherwise. It's a similar story for the LTE version, which has a higher RRP, but can be had with healthy discounts if you shop around. Either way, we're sure its bigger battery will let it last longer between charges. We're yet to test it, but doubt the Watch 6 Classic's new CPU is quite that efficient. Serious athletes might also appreciate the Pro's scattering of dedicated running features. The newer Watch 6 Classic is a gorgeous-looking wearable, though, and runs the latest software. Samsung says an update will eventually bring the Watch 5 Pro up to speed, but there's no confirmed date for it just yet. The larger screen looks the business, and the faster internals should make it feel more responsive in daily use. Plus, who can resist that rotating bezel? Its fidget spinner levels of satisfying to twist. Each has its plus points then. We say go for the Watch 5 Pro if battery life matters most or you find a particularly juicy price cut. Otherwise, it's the Watch 6 Classic that gets our vote. So, what are your opinion on the latest Galaxy Watch 6 lineup from Samsung? Share your valuable thoughts below in the comment section. And if you guys enjoyed the video, then a sub to the channel will be massive, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See you for the next time. Peace out.